options about where he could end up next season. He can do it in free agency with teams who have salary cap space. The Knicks have a lot of space. They would sign Gordon Hayward to a short deal in there. Atlanta has space. But sign and trade deals where his agent, Mark Bartelstein, is talking with teams around the league who don't have cap space but could work out a player trade with Boston that makes sense. And then, he could negotiate an extension and do that beginning at 6 o'clock tomorrow.
All right, staying in the East, Knicks fans, we've got some optimism here. How about a guy named Obi Toppin falling in your lap with that 8th overall pick last night? And many were surprised he was there. And then the Knicks continue to make moves, parting ways with 6 veteran players. Combined, the moves will free up more than $40 million in cap space, including the purge of Todd Gibson, Elfrid Payton, and Bobby Portis. So, Woj, what are the Knicks hoping to do by clearing out all this cap space moving forward?
Well, it's not for Kyrie and KD. They tried that one.
Yes.
But what it is in the short term, it's a way, they can take money. Today we reported Ed Davis from the Jazz comes with 2 second-round picks. The Jazz are getting some money off to do some other things in free agency. And so, I think for the Knicks, it's a chance to gather up draft picks by taking on salaries. They can take a flyer at a guy like Gordon Hayward. What they're trying to do are gather assets, picks, and so that when the next big player becomes available in a trade, maybe next year, they're in position to have more assets to be able to go out and get that player. They don't have the assets to trade for a big star. And then obviously with the space come trying to get back in the free agent
Just
game.
A different vibe with Leon Rose and Wes and Tibbs there in New York. We'll see how this plays out. Woj with the very latest, less than 24 hours from free agency. Opt out of the final year of his contract with the Celtics. He was scheduled to make $34 million. Now he can be a free agent. The news on Klay Thompson, not good. The Warriors star will miss another season. It is our breaking news tonight on SportsCenter. Thompson tearing his right Achilles tendon during a workout yesterday. This after missing last season, recovering from a torn ACL in his left knee. The 30-year-old loses another year in his prime, and it changes how many things could play out in the West this upcoming season for the Warriors. More from team president Bob Myers today.
It's very hard for an athlete, sometimes you get to stop playing on your own time and on your own terms. And Klay's going to keep playing. But when it gets disrupted like this for an athlete of his caliber, it hurts. And it hurts us that care about him. I'm sure our fans that follow us, feel the same way we do.
The undefeated's Mark Spears joins us now live on SportsCenter along with NBA reporter Malika Andrews. Mark, we begin with you because you were there at that Warriors press conference earlier today. What stood out to you on how the franchise is responding to this news about Klay?
Well, this is supposed to be a joyous day. This is the day they introduced their number 2 pick, James Wiseman, also Nico Mannion, their new guard. But it was really somber in the beginning with their GM, Bob Myers, speaking for about 20 minutes about Klay Thompson. And before the press conference, I talked to 3 of Klay's former teammates, or 2 of them actually, Jaja Pachulia and Sean Livingston. They both reached out to him. Sean Livingston, as you remember, had a debilitating leg injury. He told Klay he's here for him. Jaja simply called Klay and told him that he loves him, and they're both going to be continually checking on him because they said they're both worried about him mentally.
It truly is a family atmosphere within that Warriors organization. Malika, let's check in with you because I know you've been talking to people from around the league when this news broke about Klay and the Achilles tear. What are you hearing?
Well, Sage, as you and Mark know, Klay Thompson is a beloved fixture around the NBA. And so I talked to one All-Star who said that he knows that Klay isn't necessarily known for showing emotion, but he cannot imagine how much this hurts. I talked to another coach who just said that it is sad. I talked to one Warriors staffer who said that it is, quote, devastating. This is rattling the league a little bit. There was a lot of expectations that the Warriors were going to be back. This is a player that they wanted to celebrate, they were excited for. And what I keep hearing over and over and over again is that basketball is Klay Thompson's lifeline in many ways. And these players cannot imagine having fought back for so long to make it back to be able to try again after one devastating injury and then is having to go through it all over again. So really, players around the league are feeling for Klay Thompson right now, Sage.
You mentioned his emotion and, of course, competitiveness when you think back to when he tore that ACL in the 2019 finals and he went back in and tried to play. They couldn't keep him out, so I can't imagine how he's feeling tonight. Mark Spears, Malika Andrews.
Thompson had already missed last season with a torn ACL, but to help, the Warriors are now set to acquire swingman Kelly Oubre from the Thunder. With that, Sage Steele, Kevin Nagani with you. And that's where we begin tonight's show, as we're 24 hours away from NBA free agency.
Yeah, and many experts believe that the Warriors being back at full strength would allow them to challenge the defending champion Lakers. But now, really, all bets are off. Let's take a look at the ramifications of this injury to Klay Thompson, the Warriors' 5-time All-Star guard. Thompson will now miss his second straight NBA season. You recall he suffered that torn ACL in his left knee during Game 6 of the 2019 Finals against Toronto. Now we probably won't see him back in game action before October of 2021. Specifically, what will they miss? Well, Thompson is one of the NBA's best two-way threats. He's made the third most threes of anyone since entering the league in 2011. He's got the lowest field goal percentage allowed by guards, 42.2%, since Second Spectrum began tracking in 2013-14. And the injury definitely hurts the Warriors' chances at winning another title. According to Caesars Sportsbook by William Hill, the Warriors were 8-1 to win the title prior to the Klay news. Those odds have now fallen to 20-1 since. But now help is on the way. According to our Adrian Wojnarowski, the Warriors are close to acquiring Kelly Oubre from the Thunder. Oubre had just been dealt to Oklahoma City Monday as part of the Chris Paul trade to the Suns. Here's a reaction on today's developments from the Warriors right now, starting with GM Bob Myers.
It hurts. It hurts the longer you get to experience life with people, the more pain you have, but that's why you get invested in these relationships. That's why it's special. That's why over here maybe there'll be a statue of that guy. He's Klay has a strength of will, but right now it's a tough day for him. It hurts. He'll get to a place, I think, where he's on the road, but right now, like you or I or anybody, this is a tough day for him to hear that news. It's hard. It's tough.
Adrian Wojnarowski joins me now with the very latest on this story. That's shocking on so many levels, Woj. And there was some initial optimism coming from the Warriors regarding the severity of Klay's injury, and then the bad news came down. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, he had the imaging in Southern California today, and a clean tear of his right Achilles. And I talked to his agent, Greg Lawrence, who said, there's optimism about how this will heal, that they expect he'll be able to heal 100%. He'll be ready for the start of next season. But this is a blow to Klay Thompson, to the Warriors. He just finished a rigorous rehab on the ACL injury that kept him out all of last year. And now mentally he's got to get prepared for what's a more difficult rehab with the Achilles.
So let's remember that the Warriors went to 5 straight NBA Finals, right? And then the league's worst record last season. And then they draft James Wiseman 2nd overall last night. And then the Klay news, losing him for a year. What a roller coaster ride for this franchise, Woj. So what are their options moving forward? And of course, we reported the news about the possibility of Kelly Oubre coming over. Yeah,
that Kelly Oubre deal is going to get done. They're finalizing it. He's coming from Oklahoma City. Think of this, though. You talk about the commitment in Golden State to win. He's got a $14 million salary. They're absorbing it into a trade exception. So they're going to send picks back. But the luxury tax bill on that $14 million is an $80 million bill for Golden State. Kelly Oubre will be an $80 million player for them next season. Now, he doesn't replace Klay Thompson, but given what's on the market, there's a shortage of good shooting guards in free agency. I think they maximized what was out there. He's a good player, but Klay Thompson's a Hall of Famer and certainly synonymous with that Warrior dynasty.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way to replace him. So what other options besides Oubre, or would that be it based on the salary, the $80 million?
Yeah, they're going to have the biggest luxury tax bill in NBA history. I think right now, around, I think in the neighborhood of 130 million plus. I don't know if there's much more they can bring on, especially in a climate where the Warriors have those luxury seats. They're the most lucrative in the league, and they may not be able to have any fans, at least for the start of the NBA season.